Actions have trailed reports alleging that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is backing the return of Mudashiru Obasa as Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. The report began circulating after it was published in People's Gazette. The online news outlet stated that the president told lawmakers to be prepared to let Obasa return because the political price for his removal could potentially outweigh the benefits of punishing his excesses, which bordered largely on corruption and abuse of office. The report further claimed that the First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, shielded Obasa from arrest and persecution by agents of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The report has, however, been debunked by a lawmaker at the Lagos House of Assembly who described those behind the story as politically daft. Rufai, this story was trending everywhere. I want to just take a quick reply to this. Professor Monica wrote, if this is true, it is violating the principle of separation of powers by this undue interference in LGHA internal affairs, who duly impeached its speaker for financial racketeering, abuse of powers, and the disregard for the order of constitutional authority. I mean, I got this report from, people from the Lagos state government saying that it is not true. Rufai, on fire.
What do you expect them to say? Would they tell you the truth?
Okay.
See, let's not deceive. I've also heard from very valuable sources the attempts to bring back Obasa. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. And the truth is that plan taken from people about, because as we speak now, the GAC is divided. Some people are saying, why did they remove Obasa? Some people are saying they should bring him back. And I don't know the other detail as regards who is shooting Obasa, but it's also true because as of today, they said he did something improperly, he siphoned money and everything. EFCC has not picked him up to today. So there are powers that be that are also shielding him. Let's stop deceiving ourselves in this country. Furthermore, this week, still on this same matter, we heard about the DSS intervening and some lawmakers were called. It was when those lawmakers left the DSS detention that we started seeing the fires. So they cannot completely say it's not true. What they will say is that there's been a defiance to that school of thought that, it should be reinstated. It's not that it's completely true. So they will debunk it. It doesn't make it fake news. This is political machination. They will debunk it because it doesn't fit their narrative. They say nothing like that is not happening. But I can tell you that the GAC is heavily divided and there are major conversations about reinstating Obasa. They might be successful in the end by debunking and resisting it.
But can he really be reinstated, Dr. But a quick sentence. Can he really just be reinstated just like that?
Well,
I mean, even if
we've made this clear. Section 92, sub 2 says the speaker or the deputy speaker shall be chosen by the members of the State House of Assembly from among themselves. So the speaker is first among equals, and it is for the members to determine how they conduct their processes. The process for removing a speaker or the deputy speaker is spelled out in section 92, sub 2, paragraph C. And the lawmakers are saying they have followed that process. Anything outside of that is purely speculation, is purely conspiracy theory. And, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to follow conspiracy theories. It is up to the members of the House themselves to choose their leaders. If they want to reinstate him, it will be their choice. If they don't want to reinstate him, it will be their choice. But also some external parties and all that interfering in the processes of the assembly. Well, that is beyond the realm of due process.
All right. We'll follow up on the story as always. Well, actions have trailed reports alleging that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is backing the return of Mudashiru Obasa as Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. The report began circulating after it was published in People's Gazette. The online news outlet stated that the president told lawmakers to be prepared to let Obasa return because the political price for his removal could potentially outweigh the benefits of punishing his excesses, which bordered largely on corruption and abuse of office. The report further claimed that the First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, shielded Obasa from arrest and persecution by agents of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The report has, however, been debunked by a lawmaker at the Lagos House of Assembly who described those behind the story as politically daft. Rufai, this story was trending everywhere. I want to just take a quick reply to this. Professor Monica wrote, if this is true, it is violating the principle of separation of powers by this undue interference in LGHA internal affairs, who duly impeached his speaker for financial racketeering, abuse of powers, and the disregard for the order of constitutional authority. I mean, I got this report from, people from the Lagos state government saying that it is not true. Rufai, on fire.
What do you expect them to say before? Would they tell you the truth?
Okay.
See, let's not deliver. I've also heard from very valuable sources.
So guys, the Northern Elder, Professor Yusuf, has finally been arraigned by the EFCC and he has been remanded in prison. So guys, we all know that people have been questioning why now? Why now? Whatever be the fraud that they said this man committed was done then, I think during the Buhari's time, possibly Buhari's first tenure. And then now he's being prosecuted. Okay, take a look at this. Obasa is being allegedly said to have been involved in a fraud. And the Tinubu's government is asking for his reinstatement, that he should be brought back as the speaker. Now, this Northern Elder statesman is also accused to have been involved in a fraud. And he's remanded in prison. So guys, these are some of the questions we keep asking. Why is our law not equal before everybody? Why is it that the law that applies to A does not apply to B? The law that applies to B doesn't apply to C. That's the questions Nigerians are asking. So guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at the moment this professor was arraigned before the court by the EFCC, and also he has been remanded in Kuje prison. And after that, you are going to be watching what the Chinese and the Filipinos are doing in Nigeria. And lastly, you are going to be seeing the video where this Professor Yusuf criticized Tinubu badly. He finished Tinubu in that video. And people have been, retweeting this video on Twitter saying that this is the main reason why he's being prosecuted. I want you to watch that video and try to reconcile all this. So guys, the only thing we are asking for is that this government should allow rule of law to apply equally on every situation, as it should be equal for everybody. Don't treat Mr. A differently and treat Mr. B differently. It doesn't show you are a leader. It doesn't show you are a father. Take a look at the videos I'm talking about.
Meanwhile, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, has arraigned a former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, Professor Yusuf, before Justice Chinyere Nwechanwu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Kuje. Professor Usman was arraigned on a 5-count charge bordering on embezzlement, conferring undue advantage, and fraud to the tune of 90 million naira. He pleaded not guilty when the charges were read to him. In view of the defendant's plea, the counsel for the EFCC, Mr. Francis Usani, prayed the court for a trial date. A counsel for the defense did not oppose the application for the trial date. However, he prayed the court to remand the defendant in the custody of the EFCC. In her ruling, the judge adjourned the matter to February the 12th this year for hearing on the bail application, and then ordered that the defendant be remanded in the Kuje Correctional Facility. In the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, that's the EFCC, has arraigned another set of foreigners comprising Chinese and Filipino nationals before the Federal High Courts in Lagos on charges of cybercrime, cyberterrorism, possession of documents containing false pretenses, identity theft, among others. The foreigners were separately arraigned before 4 justices of the court, who ordered their remand at the Correctional Center following their not guilty pleas. Our judiciary correspondent, Shola Shirley, reports.
72 hours after the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, began the prosecution of some foreign nationals before Justice Dainde Dikpeolu of the Federal High Court, Lagos, the commission was back at the same court Monday morning for the arraignment of yet another set of foreigners. This time, over 40 Chinese and Filipino nationals were arraigned before 4 justices of the court. These defendants are part of a larger group of suspected fraudsters who were arrested in December 2024 by the EFCC at their hideout, an imposing 7-story edifice known as Big Leaf Building in Victoria Island, Lagos, following credible intelligence gathered by the Anti-Graft Agency. Before Justice Olayinka Faji, Justice Chukwujeku Aneke, Justice Dainde Dikpeolu, and Justice Alexander Oweye, they all pleaded not guilty to counts bordering on alleged cybercrimes, cyber-terrorism, possession of documents containing false pretenses, and identity theft, among others. The defendants were specifically accused of secretly procuring and employing several Nigerian youths to prospect for victims online with a view to engaging them in romance scams and cryptocurrency fraud. The offences are punishable under Sections 18 and 27 of the Cybercrimes Prohibition and Prevention Act as amended. The defendants all pleaded not guilty, and following their pleas, the court fixed trial for various dates in February and March, with the earliest trial expected to commence February 7th. The court also ordered the remand of the foreigners at the correctional center pending their trial. Shola Shoyeli, Channels Television News.
Now, following the arraignment of the foreigners, Justice Alexander Oweye has ordered the interim forfeiture of digital assets valued at $222,729.86 linked to the unlawful activities of these foreigners who were arrested last December by the EFCC. The judge made the order of temporary forfeiture following an ex-parte application filed and moved by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Now, the EFCC's application, moved by its counsel, Zinat Atiku, was brought pursuant to Section 44, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution and Section 17 of the Advanced Free Fraud Act 2006. After granting the order, the judge also directed the EFCC to publish it in a national newspaper to allow anyone with an interest in the assets to appear before the court within 14 days to show cause why the assets should not be permanently forfeited to the federal government.
And no organization should be allowed to bring crowd without ways of controlling that crowd. It's common sense. It's as simple as that. You do not assemble a huge crowd without finding ways to protect how to control that crowd. So for us to even say that the government 2025, no, we don't want to see this nonsense in 2025. We don't want to have to be distributing palliatives to our people in 2025. Mr. President, take care of this economy. The inflation is runaway inflation, 34 point something. Food inflation is 40%. The price of a bag of 50 kilos of rice is over 90,000. What are you doing to bring it down? No, what are you doing to give us palliatives? We are better than this. That's not why we voted you in. Medicines Sans Frontier has been raising alarm of severe malnutrition in this country, particularly in the Northwest. 3 towns in the Northwest, Jibia, Mashi, Mani, 30% of the children are severely malnourished. The story is the same all across this country, from Abia to Zamfara. There is hunger in the land. Mr. President, wake up. Stop everything and feed our people. I've said this 10 months ago. And we are seeing this. And World Health Organization said the severe malnutrition, severe food shortage will worsen from November 2024 to May 2025. We are becoming a country of palliatives. No nation can be run on fumes of palliatives and deception. Rice. Whatever happens, the president will write rice. And what happens that the politicians will hide this rice? Or take it to the market, or rebrand it and put their pictures and take it for their campaigns. Now they are bringing it out for Christmas, and they wait in March to bring it out for Ramadan, and then they wait to bring it out for their campaigns. For goodness sake, what kind of leaders do we have? If we as citizens cannot hold them responsible and think it is okay for them to be doing this when our people are getting hungry, they are buying SUVs of 170, 180 million. What kind of human beings are? Mr. President, if your advisors are not telling you the truth, there is hunger in the land. Our people are dying of hunger, predominantly women and children, all across this country. And all this expensive governance you are doing is contributing to this. High corruption, inflation is out of control. Your economic team are not able to control inflation. We cannot continue with palliatives into 2025. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. Look at the budget. Oh, the military takes a big budget. Is the military going to fight hunger in this country? Hunger is a national security emergency. I've said it again and again. Buying to kanu jets or guns or tanks will not fight hunger. And no military, no police can quell the anger of a hungry citizenry. And this is what we are seeing. We've been raising our voices. And I call on our clerics of both faiths. God Almighty has given you the pulpit to speak the truth. The truth is there is hunger in the land. And you should speak the truth because God Almighty will ask you, did you do that? Our leaders do not listen to us.
So,
they're just living a life of deception when our people are dying of hunger. Women and children, predominantly women and children, the aged and the poor, they are the ones who bear the brunt of these misguided economic policies, World Bank engineered policies. They are the ones that are bringing us all of this. So for us to say anything else is deceiving ourselves. We're deceiving ourselves. Mr. President, your policies are causing death in this country, and you need to review that. End of story.
Professor Usman Yusuf, many of these victims were reportedly children, and I'm sure you have your thoughts on the demographic characteristics of these victims. We'll talk about women and children. We saw some of them. But again, the short and long-term psychological impacts of the stampede on the victims or their families and the wider community, what do you think about that moving forward?
Right. Our people are already traumatized all across this country. Our people are walking like zombies. People are hungry. People do not have anything to eat. Out of school children increasing exponentially. Many children that went to tertiary institutions are not going back. If you don't correct the primary problem, we're just going round and round and round and round. It's the failed economic policies of this country, of this president, of this government that is causing this. And it's going to worsen. We've been raising our voices for the president and his advisors to hear because they are not telling him the truth. They are saying all is well. All is not well. Hunger is a national security emergency that this government is taking for granted. All countries in the world, serious democracies know that. That is why the cost of food is very low. That's why there's no tax on food. But here we are. Hunger has been imposed on us by this government. You're overtaxing us. And there is no light at the end of the tunnel for people. And you're asking us to be patient, to be patient, to be patient. I'm a doctor. I write a prescription. Patient is having a problem. You revise that prescription. Mr. President, whatever prescription you got from the World Bank is killing our people. And you need to go to them to tweak this policy. It's not working. It's killing our people. Hyperinflation has eaten into the wealth of our people. People cannot buy food. People are hungry. People are dying. World Health Organization and Medicine Sans Frontières have been raising the alarm, and we have been doing the same. I've been here before with graphics showing the president, showing the world that there is hunger in the land, as we would see in the Sudan, in Darfur, or Yemen. In this our land of plenty, where you see trillions budgeted for this nonsense, that nonsense, this nonsense. We are saying this because the anger of hungry citizenry cannot be contained by any military. Mr. President, wake up, tweak your policies. It's not working. People are dying. It's a time for Christmas, and I am very, very saddened about the loss of these lives, predominantly women and children that we just saw.
Yeah, Professor.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. These are the things we are talking about when it comes to leadership. Leadership. So, in case you missed some of my videos, I talked about Tinubu's wife being said to have shielded Obasa from the EFCC arresting him. Now, the same EFCC has gone to arrest a northern elder, and then he's being prosecuted. What kind of nation do we live in, Nigerians? One is protected, the other is not. Don't forget that Obasa was allegedly accused to have been involved in a fraudulent act that involves billions of dollars. And today, we are being told that the First Lady, though we don't have that office, the First Lady protected him, prevented EFCC from touching him. And Tinubu is asking for him to be reinstated, to be brought back as the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly. Nigerians, who did this to us? Two people allegedly involved in fraudulent act. One is being protected, the other is being prosecuted. It makes no sense. There's no leadership here, honestly. There is no leadership here. There is no leadership in this country. We are just wondering when we'll be able to get patriotic leaders that will take Nigeria back to what it's supposed to be, or what it was one time then, not what it is today. These people have destroyed the judiciary, destroyed our constitution, make it to be worthless. Look at what Trump is doing. It's all about America. Even if he's hurting his relationship with others, no, he doesn't care. It's all about America. When are we going to have leaders like this? When are we going to have people who are ready to give up everything and whatever to make sure that they carry their people along? So you've seen it. The northern elder is being squeezed. Possibly, I'm sensing he's going to be jailed. I'm sensing he's going to be jailed for being a critic. Let's see how all this is going to play out. And the 2027 election is by the corner, because guess what? Once Tinubu clocked 2 years in office, the campaign will start. Directly or indirectly. Don't forget that his posters on 2027 are in some places. Let me not say all over the places, but just for you to know that elections are already here. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the prosecution of this northern elder. Do you think it is right to prosecute one and spare the other? Shouldn't the law apply to everybody equally in Nigeria? Let me know your thoughts on all this. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. And drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.